And this is my Galetta strawberry bed, and it's about I guess I planted them 3 years ago, and this is my second year of harvesting, and they are just the best. If the description says excellent flavor, that's how you know what kind of strawberry to get. If it just says good flavor, well, it's going to be just good. And I've got them planted in my trusty black plastic with straw, and that way you don't have to spend your whole life pulling weeds and all that junk. I'll give you a close-up of how the berries are beginning to form down in there. You know, the little blossoms and lots of berries, and they're just delicious. And then last year, come over here, I planted this variety, and I swear I cannot remember. It's a different variety, but it must have had excellent in the description. So strawberries, you have to keep, it's a moving thing like all life. And so as this is their second year, see, to produce. So next year will be their last year to really be producing really well. And they'll begin to get smaller and smaller. So then these will come on thicker and thicker. And so this year I'll plant another row out of probably Galetta, because I really like those. But these are really healthy, pretty plants. And looking here, I'll give y'all an update. Looky there, my first berry ready to pick. It's just beautiful. It might need one more. The top of it's a little bit yellow, but they're getting blossoms, but they're not nearly as thick. But again, plant those in black plastic with straw all around. The straw packs down and it breaks down and it feeds the soil, and it keeps the top cool as they're establishing. And then when they get really thick, then they don't need anything up under there if you don't want to. You can, because they're strawberries, you know. Okay, I'll take you around here. The birds have just been really active today, and I have seen a couple of monarchs checking us out. And this is the area where last year I had my sweet potatoes. It's just a big black plastic area, and then I poke holes and stick the sweet potato slips is what they call them, but they're just like little stems with roots going on them in there, and that'll create the sweet potato vines, and they'll just get all thick and green through here. And then around Halloween, you come out here and pull up sweet potatoes. Now over here, I have blackberries gone wild. This is in Arkansas at our, oh look, there's bees. At the University of Arkansas, they produced, there's the bee. Back in I want to say the 90s, 80s and 90s, they produced these blackberries that are thornless. And that's what I have, 2 or 3 different varieties here of thornless blackberries. And this year they decided, well, they didn't really like being contained in this one bed over here. They decided to just cross over. And so they are taking over. This is where I normally plant on this trellis here, my green beans. So I think, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may just cut them where they'll pop up better and not attach to the ground, because they'll just attach wherever they're laying on the ground and decide, okay, this is home now. But they really do look pretty and springy and all. It's just a mass of blossoms there. And again, you'll have to fight the birds for them because they want some too. And so the blackberries are beginning to try to creep over to here. It's a migratory kind of plant. And so this is where I put my green beans, and they'll have to have enough sun, so I'll have to pull out a lot of that blackberry that's taking over. And then this is another kind of blueberry, and I have not ever, she hasn't yet, she's got lots of forming blossoms and buds, but we just haven't harvested anything yet. And she's a real pretty creamy green. She's her leaves, and I can't really show that in the video, but it's a different kind of a green. It's real pretty. So she's maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, and I don't know how big she's gonna get. She's a forgot her name. What is your name, darling? Your name is, okay, here's how we know. She is Blue Ray. And so she's just a baby. She was planted in 21. And this one is called Early, her name's almost erased, Early Blue. And she was living in the shade and not doing well, so I moved her over. And she's got some pretty blossoms this year, but she has never produced for us yet. So they're just kind of in junior high, I guess you'd say. And then I have this, and this is called Sweetheart. This is going to be a big one like the one by the door. It's a different kind, but it's going to be tall. And it looks like it's probably about 6 foot tall now in some parts. So this year it has really, this is going to be a good berry year because it's got lots and lots of berries coming on. Let's see here, darling. Yeah, and it's supposed to be really sweet, as her name indicates. And she was shaded by a tree, and then when the power company came and cut down the tree, that just gave her all kinds of new life. And these are my cherry trees. One is called Joel, and the other one, I can't remember, but they have to be together. They pollinate each other. The bees go back and forth between them, and they make like a little sour cherry. And let's see up close what that looks like. Those are the little sour cherries, and they'll get, you know, red when they're ripe, and you just, it's mostly pit, but you can get enough to make like a cobbler or something, you know, out of that. And it's kind of a bush. It's more than a tree. It's a cherry bush. So that's what's going on this year. Everything is really lush this year. We didn't have a long freeze that killed everything like we've had before, where everything would be ready to go and then it freezes out. So it's going to be a good year.